Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to our Srimad Bhagavatam Stuti series. Today we will begin the Varaha Stuti. This Varaha Stuti appears in the third canto and in the 13th chapter from shlokas 34 to 46. So we will recite the shloka first. Rishaya Uchuhu
Rishaya Vuchuhu
Jitam Jitam Te Jita Yajna Bhavana
Jitam Jitam Te Jitayagna Bhavana
Raim Tanum Swam Paridhunvate Namaha
Trayim Tanum Swam Paridhunvate Namaha
Yad Roma Garteshu Niliyur Adhayaha
Yadromagartyeshu Nililyuratthayaha
Tasmai Namah Karana Sukarayate.
Tasmai Namah Karana Sukarayate.
Word for word meaning translation purport by His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Rishaya Uchuhu.
Rishaya Vuchuhu.
The glorified sages uttered.
The glorified sages uttered.
Jitam.
Jitam.
All glories.
All glories.
Jitam.
Jitam.
All victories.
All victories.
Te. Unto you.
Unto you.
Ajita.
Ajita.
O unconquerable one.
O unconquerable one.
Yajna Bhavana.
Yajna Bhavana.
One who is understood by performances of sacrifice.
One who is understood by performances of sacrifice.
Trayim.
Trayim.
Personified Vedas.
Personified Vedas.
Tanum.
Tanum.
Such a body.
Such a body.
Swam.
Swam.
Own. Paridhunvate.
Paridhunvate.
Shaking.
Namaha.
All obeisances.
All obeisances.
Yat. Whose. Roma.
Hairs.
Garteshu. In the holes. Nililyuhu. Submerged. Adhayaha. The oceans. Tasmai. Unto him. Namaha. Offering obeisances. Karana Sukaraya. Unto the hog form assumed for reasons. Te. Unto you. Translation. All the sages uttered with great respect.
All sages uttered with great respect.
O unconquerable enjoyer of all sacrifices.
O unconquerable enjoyer of all sacrifices.
All glories and all victories unto you.
All glories and all victorious unto you.
You are moving in your form of the personified Vedas.
You are moving in your form of the personified Vedas.
And in the hair holes of your body.
And in the hair holes of your body.
The oceans are submerged.
The oceans are submerged.
For certain reasons.
To
uplift the earth. You have now assumed the form of a boar.
You have now assumed the form of a boar.
Okay. We'll read Prabhupada's purport and then understand the context of what's happening here. Prabhupada writes in the purport, the Lord can assume any form he likes. And in all circumstances, he is the cause of all causes. Since his form is transcendental, he is always the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as he is in the causal ocean in the form of Mahavishnu. So, we may think why the Lord has to come in the form of a fish or a tortoise or a boar. Well, the Lord can do anything as per time, place, and circumstance, and also as per the desire of his devotees that Lord can appear in any form. So hence Prabhupada is saying that the Lord's form is always transcendental. Innumerable universes generate from the holes of his bodily hairs, and thus his transcendental body is the Vedas personified. So when creation happens, when the Brahmandas come, they all come from the pores of the Lord's skin. That's how all of the universes come. They are like little bubbles floating up from the Lord's surface. He is the enjoyer of all sacrifices, and he is the unconquerable supreme personality of Godhead. So even when yajna is done, like a Ganesha puja or a Devi puja, we may think that the yajna is being done to please Lord Ganesha, or the yajna is being done to please Mother Devi. But that's not the truth, because the Lord already says in the Bhagavad Gita that he is Yajna Purusha. He is the acceptor of all sacrifices. So then why is the term, Ganesh Puja or Devi Puja or Chandi Puja? Where does these terms come from? It's because the Devatas take their share of the credit of that yajna, and the rest of it actually goes to Lord Vishnu. Therefore, ultimately, it is Lord Vishnu who is enjoying all the sacrifices. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam. Your yajna, your tapas, everything is ultimately enjoyed by Lord Vishnu. Prabhupada writes, he is never to be misunderstood to be other than the Supreme Lord because of his assuming the form of a boar to lift the earth. That is the clear understanding of sages and great personalities like Brahma and other residents of the higher planetary systems. So now we'll understand the context behind the shloka. So, as we mentioned, this stuti appears in the 13th chapter of the 3rd canto. And in the 13th chapter, which is titled The Appearance of Lord Varaha, the chapter begins with the conversation continuing between Shukadev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. And Shukadev Goswami has already been narrating the conversation that happened between Maitreya and Vidura on the topics of the Supreme Lord. So here, Shukadev Goswami continues. In the conversation that's happening between Vidura and Maitreya Rishi, Vidura is asking Maitreya, what did Swayambhuva, who's the dear son of Brahma, do after obtaining his very loving wife? The wife's name is Shatarupa. Both Swayambhuva and Shatarupa come from Brahma only, but they are joined together as husband and wife for the purpose of procreation. So, Swayambhuva Manu is asking Brahma, please instruct me. What should I do? So here Vidura is saying, I want to hear more about what all happened, what transpired, because certainly the Lord is involved here again. That Manu is a great personality of Lord Hari, says Vidura. So anything that you hear about a great devotee of the Lord is also purifying. Because there, as Vidura says, their character is sublime, their activities are also sublime. So Vidura is asking Maitreya Rishi, tell me a little bit more about this Swayambhuva Manu and the other great devotees of the Lord. So in response to that, Maitreya Rishi continues. So it is a nested conversation. Shukadev Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj, Vidura, Maitreya. Like that, throughout the Bhagavatam, you will see these nested conversations happening. So Maitreya Rishi was very, very happy when Vidura says, speak more about the great devotees of the Lord. So Maitreya tells Vidura, after Manu comes from Lord Brahma, along with his wife Shatarupa, they offer obeisances to Brahma and ask for further instructions. So this is an ideal way in which there is a relationship between not just father and son, but also between disciple and guru. The disciple should always ask the senior Vaishnava, give me instructions, tell me what you want me to do. And that's exactly what is happening here. Even though Swayambhuva Manu himself is a very powerful personality, he already knows what he needs to do. But still, out of deference to his father and his spiritual master, he is seeking instructions. He's saying, tell us how we can render service to you, what will please you. So give us the directions, how we should perform our duty, and so that we can make progress. So at that time, Brahma says, I'm very, very happy with both of you. You are a very ideal son. Without reservation, you've already surrendered yourself and you're asking me for instructions. So Brahma is glorifying his own son, Swayambhuva Manu, because of the way the conversation has begun from Swayambhuva Manu's side. And he tells Swayambhuva Manu, this sort of adoration for the superior is required. So the junior should always adore and glorify the seniors. One who is beyond the limit of envy and who is sane accepts the order of his father with great delight and executes it to his full capacity. So Brahma is saying this is an ideal son. The ideal son, even though the son himself is very famous, father is also very famous, but the son is delighted to receive the orders of the father and executes it to his full capacity. But there's a problem here. The son wants to do his service to his father. He wants to follow the instructions. He wants to procreate as per his father's instructions. But one of the places where procreation has to happen is Mother Earth. But Mother Earth is inundated in the deluge. I was listening to a lecture here yesterday about this topic of Varahadev. And there the preacher was saying that even the Mother Earth today, because we're doing so much of mining activities, that it could kick the earth out of its orbit. It could create an imbalance and the earth will just sink into the Garbhodakashayi ocean. So here, the earth had sunk deep into the Garbhodakashayi ocean. So Swayambhuva Manu is asking his father, I will follow your instructions, but before that you have to help me because Mother Earth has sunk into the ocean. And when this problem was identified, Brahma himself, who is the supreme lord of this Brahmanda, he knew that this is not something that he could resolve. So what does he do? He immediately takes shelter of the Lord. I was hearing a wonderful explanation by the preacher who I was listening to in the yesterday's recording that even pure devotees may get perplexed in certain situations because situations can become so difficult they do not know what's the right decision to make in certain situations. And what do pure devotees do? They simply take shelter of the Lord and allow the Lord to guide them. So here, similarly, Brahma thinks, how am I going to get this earth out of the water? On the one hand, creation is going nicely. On the other hand, certain things are not functioning. Because there's always plus and minuses in everything that we do. So Brahma begins to meditate. And when he meditates, a small tiny animal comes out of his nostril. And much to his amazement and to all the demigods who are watching this, the Lord comes out of his nostril and immediately becomes as huge as a boulder. So for a long time, Brahma did not know what to do. So as he meditates, the Lord comes out of his nose. At first, all of the reactions are, who is this? They didn't look like the Lord. But this small boar, and Shukadev Goswami is explaining the measurement of the creature that comes out of Brahma's nostril is no bigger than the upper portion of the thumb. And as Brahma is watching this creature that has come out, this creature flies up into the sky and becomes as gigantic as a great elephant. And they are all looking at this boar-like creature. And all the other sages are there. The Marichi is there, the Kumaras are there, Swayambhuva Manu is there. And they are all discussing among themselves, who is this personality? Is this some personality has come in the disguise of a boar? And Brahma is saying, isn't it wonderful that he's come from my nose? First of all, he was no bigger than the tip of my thumb, and within a moment, he is assumed the size of a large stone. And Brahma is saying, I am thoroughly perturbed. Could this be Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead? While Brahma was deliberating this particular appearance of the Lord along with his various sons, the Lord roars 3 times. And there's an explanation as to why the Lord roars 3 times. So the Lord was very happy that everybody recognized that he was the Supreme Lord. So in this particular chapter and continuing in this canto, there are 2 Varahadevs described simultaneously. So we may get confused and think that they are one and the same Varahadev, except they are not. This Varahadev that Vidura and Maitreya Rishi are discussing is actually called Shweta Varaha. Shweta Varaha appears during the first kalpa of Brahma. 1 kalpa is 1 day. So Brahma has 30 days or 30 kalpas in his 1 month. So Prabhupada explains that this is the first birthday, not year, first day of Brahma has been completed during the reign of Swayambhuva Manu. And it is during this reign that Varahadev appears to lift Mother Earth from the depths of the Garbhodakashayi ocean. Why should the Lord take the form of a boar? Why he could not appeared as in his regular form and just dove into the ocean and picked up the earth? Well, it is a very uncommon appearance. Actually, this is the first incarnation in our Brahmanda. Normally we say Matsya, Kurma, Varaha. But here this Shweta Varaha is the very first incarnation of the Lord, because he appears on the first day, the conclusion of the first day of Brahma. So Brahma has just appeared out of the navel of the Lord, and by the time his first day is over, this Varahadev has appeared. The other Varahadev, who actually kills Hiranyaksha, appears during the 6th kalpa of Brahma, during the 6th Manu, called the Chakshusha Manu. And it is that Varahadev that fights with Hiranyaksha and also rescues Bhumi Devi there. So to the question why the Lord takes the form of a boar, here in this particular shloka, there is a mention that the Lord is the personified Vedas. So he is called as Vedamurti. So Varahadev is being addressed as Vedamurti, the personification of the Vedas. Because the Vedas appeared from the breathing of the Lord. Therefore, when Brahma is breathing, the Lord comes out of his nostril. And it is only the boar that can go into apparently filthy places and locate what it wants to locate. So the bottom of the ocean has a lot of junk, you could say. that would have accumulated over years and years. It reminds me of many little robotic devices that go to the depths of the ocean and they discover, sunken ships, treasures, and whatnot at the bottom of the ocean. So the Lord comes as Varahadev to lift up Mother Earth on his tusks so that it is floating again, so that Swayambhuva Manu can complete his activity, his service to the Lord of being able to procreate as per the instructions given to him by his father Brahma. So this is the context when the rishis are actually seeing this gigantic form of the Lord. That is when they begin to offer these glorifications, because they are all confused. They don't know who this is. But ultimately, they recognize him after the 3 roars. So what does the first roar symbolize? When the Lord roared for the first time, he confirmed that he is Lord Vishnu, the overseer of the 3 planetary systems. And actually, all of the rishis in the various planetary systems thought actually Pralaya is about to happen. So that caught their attention. So the Lord wanted to capture the attention of the great devotees to let them know he has come. The second roar is to enliven the Brahmanas and his devotees, to give them encouragement, to tell them, don't worry. You want to continue your services to me? Sometimes I myself have to come and help you so that you can continue your services. And the third roar is to acknowledge the prayers that the rishis are offering right here. And this is the first shloka that we looked at, which is the 34th shloka of the 13th chapter of the 3rd canto.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.